Today is July 2nd, 2024, and I'm here with Scott Schultz, who was an announcer for the Pekin Let's. Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, you're very welcome. Proud to be here.
All right, just starting off, talk a little bit about where were you born and raised?
I was born right here in Pekin, 1952, and I'm near 72 years old already, and came out here to the Pekin Park and watched the Pekin Let's play out here for many years. Really enjoyed watching the girls. I think the most memorable thing about the Let's was being here when they played the Osaka, Japan team. That was very exciting. There were so many people here for a couple days, and that's when I really became a big fan.
And then talk a little bit about that Japan game when you were here. What was that like? A little bit more with the atmosphere.
Well, the park was plumb full. There was no more room for anybody because I believe from the articles, I've got some newspaper articles that says I believe there was 10,000 people on Saturday night and 9,000 people on Sunday afternoon. And the park, this field was completely full of people. There was people backed up, lined up as far out across the street, everywhere. There were people here. It was just unbelievable.
And then were there any specific players that were maybe your favorite to watch growing up?
I liked them all. I thought they were all really good, and I don't want to say a single name because they were all good. I enjoyed all of them.
And then after your childhood, kind of growing up here in Pekin, watching the team, you got a chance to come here and announce for the Pekin Let's. Can you maybe talk about how you first got involved with that role?
Well, I'm an announcer at stock car racing events, and Fred needed somebody to help him, and it's as simple as that. And we got together about it some night somewhere. I don't even remember where it was, but I said, hey, I'll do it. I've got my own sound equipment, and I would be happy to do it because of my knowledge of the past years of the Pekin Let's.
And then what years did you announce for the Let's?
I believe, Fred, you started in 1991, and I think I came along the next season and went until about maybe 2015 or 2016. It was about 25 years, I believe, I did it for.
Mm-hmm. And I know that Fred mentioned that you did more than just announce. You played a lot of roles here on the team. What else did you do to kind of help the team?
I was the history man, I guess, of the team, and went back and researched and the records of the girls, and made a website, took photos, along with our good friend Lemmy Van Landingham, who took fabulous photos over the years for the Pekin Let's. And I was just really interested in, I'm a history buff, and I have my own Peoria Old Timers Racing Club that I've been doing for 44 years now, and I'm into history big time.
That's awesome. Could you take us through maybe what a typical day would look like for you announcing at a game?
Oh wow, that's something I gotta think back on that. Well, we always got here early on game day, and we would meet and talk about the games and what was going on, and my niece Katie would always come with me, and I had a couple others that actually came with me to help out. And because it was hard to get anybody to help out, to run the scoreboard. There was so many things to do, and everybody kind of pitched in. Mm-hmm. And Katie, my niece, she would sometimes sing, take me out to the ball game before every game when she was younger. And of course now, she's graduated from Bradley and is a school teacher. And it was just a lot of fun. It was fun to bring family out.
Yeah, for sure. And then during your time announcing, obviously you watched a lot of games. So were there any particular games that you remember that were very memorable for you?
I think the most memorable games was when Fred brought in the tournament here. When the teams came from the East Coast, the West Coast, the Midwest to play. Mm-hmm. And it was really neat to see the players from all over come in like that. I really enjoyed that.
And then kind of with that, could you like describe the atmosphere of that game and what it was like?
Well, from what I remember, there was people here from everywhere. There was officials with the ASA, I believe at the time, came in, the big shots, you know, top of the list. And a lot of fans from all over came in, and it was just, it was like a big parade. It was like really something that the people hadn't seen here for a while.
And then how would you say the community support was like for the team?
Well, it was very good, I think, for the latter years of the Lets. You know, it was nothing like the first years, you know, but it was still, they were the Pekin Lets, the newer version of the Lets. And the older Lets would sometimes show up at our games, you know, and people like that. The people that never got to see these girls playing a game, they got to see the new, what I really liked was the older Lets talking to the newer players, and they knew a lot of them from going to college and stuff. But you know what, now thinking back, I think one of the greatest things, Fred, that we did here in Pekin was the 50-year reunion of the Pekin Lets. That was a very nice thing Fred put on, and we had the older players all come in, we had the newer players, and we were right here. We had a big dinner for the girls, a picnic like out here. We had a big dinner downtown Pekin for all the girls, and they all showed up. They came from all over the country, and it was just a great thing. And we had a big game here at the park, and it was just a big thing, I think. And that was probably the best thing that I was a part of. And we got my program here. I wanted to show you that. Our 50th anniversary program that had all the history of the Lets, pictures and everything. And that's probably my proudest moment right there.
That's awesome. And then kind of getting to watch all these games too, you got to see the team and kind of how they played. And what do you think set the Pekin Lets apart from other teams?
Just the support of the city and the people of Pekin, and the just knowing that they were so famous back years ago, all these years. And I think it's just a tradition in Pekin.
And then how has the sport of softball, obviously you kind of got into it now, and your experience with the Pekin Lets influenced your life?
Well, honestly, I loved coming to the games up until the end, and I really have not followed the sport since then, and it just doesn't seem to be as popular, as big as it was, and it's just a shame. It really is.
Do you have any idea why that may be?
No, I have no idea. Fred could tell you all of that, but it's just, I wish things would be better, but you know, in general, everything is not as good. So.
And then, kind of summing it all up, what legacy did the Pekin Lets leave behind, in your opinion?
Wow. It's something that I'm gonna always remember, and I just want to see it keep going if it could possibly. It's 95 years now, and I got my memories here, and I just wish it could come back.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then, is there anything else that you'd like to share about your experiences?
The best thing was the friendship with Fred, you know, and we're still friends, and we still go out and eat all the time and talk about everything and sports and things. And, but I do miss coming out here and doing the regular games.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.